Come on.
Is it worth it? Let me work it. Put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
Is your firm if it's Winnetou? Is your firm if it's Winnetou?
If you got a big, let me search ya. To find out hard, I gotta work ya.
Is your firm if it's Winnetou? Is your firm if it's Winnetou?
I'd like to get to know ya so I can show ya. Put the pussy on ya like I told ya. Give me all your numbers so I can phone ya.
Your girl acting stank, then call me over. Not on the bed, lay me on your sofa. Call me before you come, I need to shave my chocha.
Chocha.
Thanks for listening to Middle Aged and Mediocre. I'm Cash.
I'm Joel.
And we are a podcast about all things strange and unusual, death and UFOs, and other creepy,
Cults,
weird, random
ghosts.
shit. There you go.
Yeah. Not just naming things in the room.
Oh my god.
There's a cult of ghosts.
Work it, people. Joel, are we rappers?
I'm a rapper.
I think we've kind of got this whole hip-hop rap thing down.
Do you feel the music in your heart?
I mean, I feel like there's an elephant inside me, and yet I don't know how to do the noise.
That sounds like a rooster that
I had
on a rooster or something.
I put it out there
I can't do it either.
that imitating an elephant is the hardest animal to...
That was pretty good.
I'm getting there.
It took a lot of work. I don't think that you couldn't have squeezed that in with the lyrics flowing. With that hot lava getting spit.
Yeah. Last night would have been a fun time to have like a camera on me. Between me trying to figure out how...
Oh, there's one on you. I'll go home and check it. I haven't looked at the footage yet.
You might want to release it.
Okay.
Because between trying to figure out how to do the reverse lyrics thing and then make the elephant noise, I was just in here last night just being like, brr, brr, brr. No, that's not it. That's not it. Yeah, I was making all kinds of noises.
I thought that was a foreign language at first. Because I was trying to find like a good female artist song, and I was like looking at like real classic.
Yeah.
Like little what's that? What's the little one called? But I ended up on Missy Elliott. Little Kim. I think I looked at some Little Kim song. Who's the other little one? The Brat.
Oh. Really,
I know hip hop.
I was really gonna say the little one. I was like,
She's just the little one, but she's called the Brat.
So you mean like in stature? She's small.
I think she is. Yeah.
Well, I mean she's the brat, so she's probably a little tiny person. Yeah, no, Work It was fun. I do hate that song, but that was fun. Yeah, I think we've nailed this. I mean, when we first started doing this, I was like, two white guys doing hip-hop rap? No way is this going to work. And now the more I've heard us, we're kind of great at this.
Yeah.
So,
naturals.
Putting out that album soon that no one's going to
Nope, we will.
But you
gotta come up with your rap name. I'm Flip Switches.
Yeah, you have a really good one.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Casket Jack.
That's a good one.
I like Casket Jack would work.
That's your Twitter handle.
I almost wanted to change it, but then I was like, hey, Casket Jack, that just got a good... And there's like a bunch of random people now on... Like, it's always funny when people, guys I do business with for cards, and they'll be like, hey, thanks, man. Thanks, Casket Jack. It's such a weird thing to be called, but I gotta like it.
All right. Jack and Flip.
Yeah. But this has been Wage Mediocre. We're back with another episode.
Hi.
What's been going on? I know you have got a big show coming up tonight.
I do?
You do.
Tonight?
Tonight.
Where?
The Smoot Theatre.
That's today?
That's what you told me.
It starts in 10 minutes?
You've got it.
As we see here now, I need to be there in 4.5 hours.
Yeah, that's plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
To tell your
ha-has. Yeah.
Your ha-has.
Yeah, I get to host, and I'm pretty excited. I bought a new shirt from the Salvation Army. Balling on a budget.
Yeah, well, I have heard that you, sir, are quite wealthy.
Yeah, I pay bills right before they're going to be turned off. I get that notice. We're like, hey, pay this bill. It's going to be turned off. And I'm like, I'm going to pay it.
Yeah, I did.
My internet gets turned off, but they don't charge me to turn it back on. You just pay what you owe, and they'll turn it back on for you.
That's nice of them.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think I think it's kind of bullshit that they expect you to pay them money. Like, I just want this service. Give it to me.
It's floating around.
I'm Joel
There's
Gant?
so much internet just floating around.
I'm the Joel Gant.
I'm the Joel Gant.
One of the wealthiest entrepreneurs in Parkersburg.
Yep. Ask about me in the streets.
Yeah. They'll tell you. Oh, yeah. Joel Gant lives in a mansion. I know him. Better than everybody? Yeah, I heard so.
I pay my bills like 3 years in advance.
That's just dumb.
And I pay double what they are. I'm like, here's just double. I don't know. I don't even understand money.
Yeah, well, you don't need to understand it because you got so much of it.
I'm stupid rich.
Yeah.
Stupid rich.
What's money to you?
What is it? Are you listening?
So, yeah, a lot going on. A lot going on out in the world. I need a silly, dumb episode because I've spent most of the past month just being mad about everything again. Yeah. What with like an all-out war on like trans rights and just humans being able to live as they want.
Yeah.
Apparently, I have to now defend TikTok all day because they're trying to ban it for stupid-ass reasons.
Because they're spying on you?
That is not
They're spying on people?
It's not it at all. It's because Mark Zuckerberg paid a company to lobby Congress to get it banned because TikTok's doing way the fuck better than it in every way imaginable and taking all kinds of ad revenue from it. Oh, man.
Mark Zuckerberg he needs some more money.
Yeah,
right?
It's such bullshit.
He's struggling.
So here I am now. I'm like, you know what I never wanted to have to do? Be on TikTok side.
Yeah.
Here I am.
You're in your TikTok soapbox.
I hardly ever even use it.
I can't download it. I need a new phone first.
I will say, though, like from the time I used to use it there for a little while, and it was pretty shitty. It was just the worst videos ever. Just annoying people. And I didn't use it for a long time, and then we thought maybe we'll start using it for the podcast. So I downloaded it again, and it has changed so much. Like they have started encouraging like longer form videos with like better information.
Yeah.
It's where people are starting to go to get news. It's like people are communicating through it. Like it connects everybody.
And that pisses Facebook off.
It pisses off a lot of people because that's just there's a lot of interest out there to try to stop that. But so yeah, now I'm like, oh great, I'm on TikTok side. But yeah, I've just been basically sitting around being mad at the world lately. So fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
I've been really happy with the world.
Good for you.
I ran today. I told you I ran today outside. It was nice. It was windy, but it was really nice. And 3 different people from their porch cheered me on while I was running.
Which is...
I didn't know how to react. I was like, are you fucking with me? Like, you see like a chubby guy running, so you're just fucking with me right now?
It is strange, right? Like,
a little bit, but I took it. I was like, thanks, man. Thank you, universe.
Is it, real,
Oh, yeah. The one girl was like, work it, work it, work it, work it. And then one's my uncle, so he just waves at me no matter what I'm doing. He loves me. I'm a good boy. He knows it. And the other one was like some dude on a porch. He yelled something, so I had to stop, take my earbuds out, and I said, excuse me? And he goes, keep up the good work. I was like, oh, thanks. Turned and kept running. Because it was right after I spit some water out, and I was like, this motherfucker is going to say something about me spitting water out. But he was trying to encourage me.
They are just judging people and looking down on others.
Yep. But yeah, see, I'm pretty happy with the world.
Well, I'm glad you're getting encouragement from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's weird though. Just like, what are you guys doing? Like, why?
The first one definitely threw me off. The girl's like, work it, work it, work it, work it.
Because you do feel like it's almost what's the word I'm looking for?
Pander.
They're kind of like
patronizing.
Patronizing. Yeah. There you go. They're like, oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Good
I mean, I had my 24-pound vest on, so I wasn't moving fast. They had plenty of time to cheer.
Well, you should have
slow.
Every one of them, you should have stopped and be like, if you like this, come see me tonight.
Yeah, at the Smooth Theater. Got a new shirt from the Salvation Army.
So, it's going to be a good show.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're there tonight with Kevin Farley.
I wonder if I go out to eat in a Salvation Army shirt, do I get a military discount?
That's not how that works at all.
Okay.
You can try it. You can ask for one, and then when they ask you
Delete.
show proof, you can just be like, this shirt.
Look at the tag.
Here's the receipt.
It's got the yellow tag. Yellow tag means $3.
Here's the receipt.
Red tag means $1. Everybody knows that. Come on.
Well, good luck tonight.
Thanks.
I'm sure we'll cover it next week. Also next week.
Actually, we won't. We're going to Cincinnati.
Yes, we're not. That's what I was going to say. We're not going to cover it next week.
Yeah.
Unless we just, I don't know. We probably
I guess we can record on the drive up. On the way back. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But if we don't have an episode next week, it's because we are going out of town. We're going to go watch the Pirates play the Reds in Cincinnati, which is, I think, is it Saturday opening day?
Maybe.
I think Saturday's opening day.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be...
Banana.
It's going to be pretty packed, I think, which I did not plan for. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we're going to be taking a trip up to Cincinnati. So we'll probably won't have a new episode next week. We'll see. But you can always, go back and listen to our other episodes. But we are also going to be introducing some new things to the show. We're going to try to steer away a little bit from talking about like current true crime stuff and like try to get out of that. Just because, I feel gross. We do this all the time.
Yeah.
I never feel right about it, but then, I give in, but I don't want to this time. Where
there's some true crime robberies,
We'll still be doing crime stuff, and, there will be people getting killed.
Yeah.
But, I don't want to do episodes where we're like...
Man, you talked about the girl getting a piggyback ride to get murdered.
Yeah. Yeah.
That stuck with me for a couple days.
So I'm thinking we probably avoid that. Lean more into... dumb, silly things as much as possible.
I get that. That's my bread and butter.
Yeah.
Dumb and silly.
And our name doesn't make any damn sense if we're going to be talking about...
You're having an
existential crisis.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
My entire life is an existential crisis, Joel.
You were born, you were just like, why?
It's 24/7 of me doing this kind of stuff. That is my brain. Just yelling, why? Why?
Why?
I don't know, brain. Just because that's what's happening.
Part of your brain's like, why not? You're like, why not? Why?
Leave me alone.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the new things we're going to be doing is a brand new little segment called Middle-Aged and Mediocre Theatre.
Ooh.
And now, Cash and Joel argue about pants. Cash and Joel were arguing about a strange topic, wearing pants. Cash firmly believed that pants were the most important part of any outfit, while Joel thought they were just unnecessary. I can't believe you're going out like that. You're not even wearing pants.
So, there's nothing wrong with showing off a little leg.
But it's cold outside. You're going to freeze, man.
I'll be fine. Besides, pants are so uncomfortable. I don't see why anyone would want to wear them.
Uncomfortable? Have you even tried on a good pair of pants?
Yeah. And they feel like a straitjacket for your legs. No thanks.
Well, I think you're crazy. Pants are essential to any outfit. They complete the look and keep you warm.
I disagree. I'm all about comfort over style. Plus, with global warming, it's only going to get hotter. Who needs pants?
You're not thinking long term, man. What if we have another ice age, huh? You'll be sorry you didn't invest in a good pair of pants.
I'll take my chances. I think I'll stick to shorts.
Suit yourself, but mark my words, someday you'll realize the error of your ways. With that, the two friends went their separate ways. One proudly sporting a pair of shorts, and the other snug in a pair of pants. This has been Cash and Joel arguing about pants. So do you think I convinced you to wear pants?
No.
Fuck.
I took my shorts off.
You did.
All right, yeah, I went the opposite direction.
I lost that argument big time. So I lost. My brain, we just talked about our brains, and mine just went, fuck you.
Yours just reset or something.
All right, so we're going to get into a story that if you were... kind of growing up in the 80s, if you had like a brain that was aware of things in the 80s, you probably heard about back when somebody fooled around with some medication.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back a little bit. Born in Memphis in 1946.
Elvis?
He probably was born earlier than that.
All right.
Life started rough for James Wilson. He was the only son of migrant workers Theodore and Opal Wilson.
Opal, that's a hell of a name.
Opal needs to make a comeback.
I don't think I know any Opals.
I've never met an Opal in my life.
I think an Opal. Let's have a baby together.
Okay.
We'll name her.
You had
Opal.
me at let's have a baby.
All right.
I don't need any more reasons.
Okay. You heard it here first. We're gonna we're gonna raise a child.
We're gonna rear a child. You don't hear that very often anymore either. Opal. We're gonna rear Opal.
We were watching the movie and the lady was talking about how she fell pregnant. And I've never heard that before.
Oh, she felt pregnant?
Fell pregnant. It was like a British record. Or a British movie, yeah.
British. I was listening to my British
records. We were just talking about records and movies, too. Bless your brain. We talk about so much when the mics are off.
We got ourselves all jumbled up now.
All right.
So, he's born in 46. In 1948, the family lingered in Waco, Texas. And Theodore, his dad just left town. He was like, no longer am I going to be around an Opal.
Yeah. He got his brothers Simon and Alvin, and they were fucking out of there.
They were out of there.
do.
And then Dave's just sitting around in Waco, like, guess I'll start a cult.
Yep, crying.
A few months later, Opal leaves.
Whoa,
James.
Dave is the human in Alvin and Chipmunks,
yes.
huh? And it's David Koresh.
Fuck,
dude! You got peanut butter in my
chocolate. Which today is actually the 30th anniversary of Waco, I believe.
Trump there or something?
Yeah, because
let's celebrate.
I'm sure that's not for any reason.
I thought he was supposed to be getting arrested or something.
They're working on it.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't see it happening either. He's so rich.
Him putting out there that he was going to be arrested on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking hate the guy so much.
You do?
But Jesus Christ, does he know how to play people?
Oh, yeah.
Like, as soon as I saw him
Master manipulator.
They'll be arresting I'm like, they're not arresting that motherfucker. This is to rile everyone up. And to get everybody talking about it. And then whenever finally it fails, once again, they fail to do anything about Trump. And he's going to be like, see, told you.
I'm the best.
I'm the best.
Huge.
Nobody. It's just constant conspiracies against me. I don't know why they would try. Like, I would hope if they are doing this, they seriously have enough to indict him. Because if not, it's going to be another thing that it's going to make it look like it's just a constant conspiracy to get Trump. So, and if that's the case, and if they don't have all their shit lined up,
it just makes him stronger afterwards.
And it's going to be another embarrassment.
Sweet!
So his dad leaves in 1948. Then a few months later, his mom leaves.
He's like, hey, I'm 7. Y'all just leaving me?
Yeah.
Damn.
So she leaves him and his 2 sisters. They're aged 7 and 9. She left them just to fend for themselves in a motel outside Joplin, Missouri. After a few days, social workers...
Like, cool.
Yeah, this is good.
Cool.
We feel wanted.
We're in a hotel. They got like a vending machine.
Not even a hotel, a motel.
A motel.
Yeah, a transient motel.
Oh, wow.
So, just great place for a 7-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a toddler.
Yeah, hell yeah.
A 2-year-old at this point.
Party.
So after a few days, social workers discovered the group, and they split up the siblings. Because that's always great.
Yeah.
You always want to go and split up the sisters and brothers, and that'll be great for them. So Joplin's Big Brothers agency took charge of little Theodore and granted custody of... So Theodore was... I honestly don't know why his name is Little Theodore. In some place, like, I don't know if that was his middle name, but like, he's James, but then I guess maybe James Theodore Wilson.
Yeah.
So,
JT.
The agency took him and granted custody to Floyd and Charlotte Lewis. They were a childless couple from nearby Cave Junction. And
that could be us.
Of what?
That could be us one day.
Oh, yes. They renamed him James William Lewis, which I don't know. You could just, like, why would you just rename it?
It's not a cat.
Yeah.
It's a person.
Like
my cat, when I got my cat, his name was Optimus Prime.
Okay.
That's the worst fucking name for I love Transformers.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be like, here, Optimus Prime. Like, I name him Lou. Like, that's a little better, I think.
Way
He's
better.
a Lou. Yeah.
Way better than Optimus
But he's
Prime.
not a person. I wouldn't. All right, your name's Opal now, little girl. Get used to it.
So they would call him Jim. He grew up near a chemical plant that manufactured explosives.
Lucky.
While Charlotte worked in a shirt factory, Floyd sharecropped 20 acres and served as...
that just mean he farted a lot?
The sharecropper?
Crop dusting. I was thinking of crop dusting. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry.
So he was a sharecropper, and he was the primary caregiver to Jim. It was a pretty rough life for him, and it was made more difficult by his emotional problems he had. Quote, he was in a lot of trouble, a very mixed up boy, said his cousin Lucille Mallet in a 1982 interview. He always did things that ordinary people wouldn't. My aunt tried to give him back to Big Brothers because she couldn't handle it.
Oh, shit!
But they wouldn't take him back.
No backsies, huh?
We have the receipt.
Nope, you changed his name. I'm sorry. Once you change his name,
It's yours.
what, you want to change it back? You want flip-flop?
That's in our policy.
He's going to flip-flop?
So Floyd Lewis, his adoptive dad, died of a stroke when Jim was 12. For the next 5 years, Charlotte and Jim lived alone in the home without plumbing or electricity. In 1964, she married Glenn Nelson, a groundskeeper at the local golf course. But Jim, he was a teenager now, he frightened Charlotte so much that she slept with a gun under her pillow.
Oh.
Schoolmates saw Jim as sensitive and vulnerable. Quote, he was a person whose feelings were rather visible, recalled Jerry Dean, a Cave Junction police officer of the Kansas City Star. He was very accepting of other people. Maybe they weren't as accepting of him. Because he was good-natured, people pulled pranks and did things to him that he wouldn't have done to them.
He was a good boy.
He was a pretty good boy.
He tried to be, it sounds
at school,
like.
He made good grades. He played trombone in the marching band. And he worked on the yearbook. But at home...
He's a fucking nerd.
At school, he was a bit of a
I'm
nerd.
just kidding.
At school, he was a little bit of a nerd. At home, though, he was a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
When he was 19, he reportedly chased his mother with an axe and was charged with assaulting his stepfather, who he broke several ribs while beating.
I think it's time to move out. You're 19.
Like, are you sure you won't take him back?
Yeah. He's a man. Is there like a man thing that we can send him to? The army? Okay. Is that the next thing? He joined the army.
He overdosed
on
36 Anacin tablets. And
I don't know what that is.
Anacin is like, I think it's basically just like the same as like Tylenol and stuff.
All right.
And Advil.
I don't think you should take 30 of any pill. I think that's too many. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, it's got aspirin in it.
I'm not a doctor.
You probably shouldn't take 30, yeah.
Yeah.
He overdoses on 36 Anacin tablets and was committed to a Missouri State Mental Hospital in 1966 with a diagnosis of catatonic schizophrenia. He later tried to explain the apparent suicide attempt and his brutality against his parents as an elaborate plan the family had hatched so he could avoid the Vietnam draft. So kind of what you're saying.
Oh.
You know, like maybe they were trying to get rid of him. He was like, nope.
Yep.
Not doing that shit.
About a one-way ticket on the crazy train.
But yeah, he liked school. He attended the University of Missouri at Kansas City, where he met Leanne Miller, and they would be married on Thanksgiving Day, 1968.
That's smart. That's an easy way to remember your anniversary.
Thanksgiving Day, yeah.
Thanksgiving Day.
She became his rock. His Dwayne Johnson, if you will. They were social misfits who fit together. She was a small, plain woman. What
the fuck is up with these descriptions?
You know, she was...
Why does he gotta be plain?
She was just your plain...
What do you want from her, man?
Plain Leanne, you know.
God damn.
You know, if like you had
maybe he really liked that about her.
Like if you had to describe her, you'd just be like...
I would never describe someone
you know, just... she has a face.
Yeah.
She had some hair.
I don't know. Yeah, she's there.
She was
there. She's.
I think she existed.
Like two eyes. She had two eyes.
Think
about it. Two. Yeah.
Probably two. I'm gonna, somewhere in
she
there.
would say stuff. She'd be like, and you'd be like, all right.
And you'd be like, oh, yeah, I got you, Leanne. She was just very plain.
Very plain.
And she wore the same kind of glasses as him, in case you wondered. She, too, enjoyed working with numbers and discussing politics and technology.
Yeah. Dude, numbers rock.
She admired Jim. He was tall, soft-spoken, had piercing blue eyes. She listened to him and, would defer to him on everything. Like, just, he was, whatever he said went.
Yeah.
She worked hard to see them through financial times. In June 1969, Leanne gave birth to a daughter, Tony Ann. She's like, well, I'm Leanne. You're going to be Tony Ann. We're just going to keep this.
That's just plain shit.
Train
keeping that plane train rolling.
Their joy was unaffected by the babies. Tony Ann was born with Down syndrome and some health problems. But they all, they had each other, so they were going to get through it. So Jim and Leanne started working together as bookkeepers for Haley's Instant Tax Service. They moved into its basement and managed the operation for a couple of years.
That instant tax. So they're saying as soon as you walk in, your shit's done. Because that's instant.
Instant.
They'll be like, sign in. I'm like,
Nah,
I should be done.
Sure ought to be done.
It's what? Sign in.
You owe me money now.
What's happening?
I planned on being here for 0.01 seconds.
Instant. Man.
But then one day, Lewis exploded at the owner, Bob Haley. Haley told the Kansas City Star that he wanted to take a calculator. Keep in mind, by the way, he owns this place.
Yeah, he's the owner.
So he tells the Kansas City Star that one day he wanted to take a calculator home, and Lewis blew up on him about it. You're not fucking taking that calculator.
The calculator you bought in the building that you own, you want to take to the house you own?
Fuck you.
No.
Fuck you wait till
I tell what's her face about this.
I don't know.
Plain Jane, whatever. I'm gonna tell her.
So this apparently was so bad that Jim and Leanne left the business.
They gotta take my stapler
and open their own. They're like, yeah, over a calculator.
Our calculators never leave. We may not be instant, but our calculators never leave.
They stay in the building.
Calculators are chained to the desk.
So like little bake pens, they have a little. So they open their own business, Lewis and Lewis Business Tax Service. They opened it up in a rundown part of Kansas.
It should have just been Lewis's tax service. Lewis and Lewis.
Lewis and Lewis, yeah.
Yeah, they're married, so it could just be Lewis's tax
Lewis
service.
Business Tax.
Yeah.
Lewis Family Business Tax.
Plain ass motherfuckers.
They served their clientele from a storefront office with Tony Ann playing happily alongside them. The toddler would often sit in the window and wave at passersby.
They would put her in the window. No,
that's a good way to get business. Cute little adorable toddler sitting there. One
8
day,
hours at a time, shit running down her legs.
One day, an elderly man named Raymond West waved back. Enchanted by the little girl, West introduced himself to the Lewises and became their client as well as their friend. He tried to then in 1974, December 10th, Tony Ann had to have corrective heart surgery, and she passed away.
Oh,
but
shit!
Raymond West was kind of like there to like help console them. Just, he had become their friend, and he was there for him. So grief-stricken, the parents continued to talk about their daughter and show off her drawings to clients. Like anytime you would go in there, you'd probably be like, I just kind of want my taxes.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I mean, I can't express how sorry I am.
What happened to you, but
it's the worst. Like, I don't even want to think about it.
On my lunch break.
But, yeah,
I know you don't have instant in the name.
Yeah.
I thought maybe.
I don't want to take any calculators home. You guys can keep them here and do the work. And again, I'm sorry.
But it's awful. I do need this.
How much money am I going to get?
So they carried on, and in 1975, they moved to a bungalow farther up, not far from West's home in Campbell, or on Campbell Street. So Raymond West, he was a lifelong bachelor and former truck driver. He lived in the neighborhood with his mother since 1946. By 1977, his mother had died, and West had retired to a simple life of daily walks, reading the evening paper on his porch swing, and tending his flower garden. Sounds like a pretty good.
That's a fucking pretty good life. Yeah. I'd probably need a few more things in there, but that's not a bad start at all.
That September, a freak flood swept away 3 area houses and West's car, nearly killing him. At this point, he was 72 years old. Neighbors threw him a rope while he struggled against the raging waters. This is like a real fucking flood.
Damn.
He survived and went to work repairing his property. Everybody was used to seeing him around. He liked to be helpful. He would save his newspapers and take them down to a local florist every Sunday, which I'm assuming they use to, like, wrap.
They read the stories of the flowers.
Yeah, or that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. They're like, oh, wait till you see what Blondie did today.
Oh, Garfield.
Flowers.
You're a scamp. Always up for your shenanigans with John. You love that lasagna.
Not so much the Mondays. Mondays and Odies, am I right?
Lilacs. You're not going to believe what Archie's up to this week. On Sunday, July 23rd, 1978.
But seriously, talk to your plants, people.
Seriously. Tell them all about Hagar the
It
Warrior.
matters. They matter. You matter.
On Sunday, July 23rd, 1978, West went to the florist as usual. A neighbor said he called her later that evening. He reported feeling a little bit sick, but talked mostly about getting his refrigerator fixed.
Oh my God, could you imagine that phone call? Your neighbor just calls you, you're like, I'm not feeling very well, but yeah, I'm going to get my refrigerator fixed. And I'm like, what do you want?
Why are
Is something on fire? Like, I hope you feel better, but why are you calling me?
I can't believe people used to have phone conversations.
And yeah, you would just be sitting there and like a phone on the wall would ring, and you wouldn't know who the fuck it was. And you hello?
What's happening? What is this going to be?
Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And it was just common.
Yeah.
We just did it.
You just, well, I wonder what this person's doing.
Just
Hello?
ring. Well, hello. Oh, yeah, it's you, Jerry. What's going on?
Oh, not much. Okay, bye.
Cool, man. So, how's the day going? Like,
Cash had his hand up to his head like he was holding the phone.
yeah.
See, I've been doing all this with my hands in my lap, but he's really committed to it. He's talking it to his hand right now like it's a phone.
Oh, just another Sunday. Me and the missus we went down to town, picked up some bread and some
What about
milk.
this weather?
Came back for some eggs, Yeah, everything going good your way? Yeah? All right.
Call me never.
So your refrigerator needs repaired, huh? Oh, Bob down at the service station. He knows a guy. Yeah. Well, you want to talk for another 45 minutes about nothing? Yeah, sounds great to me. I got nothing else going on.
Literally nothing. It's
There's 3 channels on, and
1979.
there's nothing on tonight. So
It's like we're in the same room together.
nowadays, you call me, I answer, go, yeah, and then within the third, if you just say what's going on, I'm like, do you need something?
What is it?
No. Why are you doing this to me?
Like text before you call.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, I'm going to call you in a second. And I'm like, why? And I'll determine, is it a phone-worthy call?
Well, just for the record, if you ever, this goes for almost everybody, if you ever get a phone call from me, know that it is an emergency. I need to talk to you.
I have called you a couple times from the car and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
driving by, just asking you something. Or
Yeah, it's like I'm going to keep you on the phone at the most 35 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
in,
to talk
I'm
about
out.
one thing,
Yeah.
and then we're done.
Yeah.
And I'll feel bad about it the whole rest of the day. It's like, oh, man, I called them. Ugh. But yeah, that's what they used to do back then. They would just call and talk about their refrigerator and not feeling very good.
Yeah. That was just a thing. We
People remembered it. People were like, oh, I remember when he called and we talked
do
about
the same thing now with texting, but
Yeah.
I can do 40 other things while we do this.
Yep.
So, anyways, he calls, tells this neighbor about his fridge, and then nobody hears from him. So, a longtime friend of Ray's, Charles Banker, became concerned on Monday when he couldn't reach Wes by phone. That's the other thing.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't get somebody to answer the phone. Oh fuck, they're dead.
Yeah. I could be dead for 2 weeks and people are like, has he called you? Like, he never calls me. I guess that's true, right?
If he had, that's why he was dead.
He calls me like, hey, I'm dying. Bye.
So, Banker and his wife drive over to Wes' home to investigate. They find the doors unlocked, or they find the doors locked, and his car in the garage. They knocked on the door. No one came to it. So a bedroom shade was raised up. They could see inside. The bed was unmade, which apparently was not a thing Raymond West.
Oh.
That was not a common thing for him.
That's what I do. First thing.
Do you make your bed?
I get up, take a shower, then I make my bed.
I don't ever make my bed.
I make my bed.
No, okay.
But then I cover it with clean clothes that were on the floor that I need to put on the bed because I don't fold my laundry.
I actually heard, like, I was usually on my way into work, I have Bob and Tom on just because I don't have a long enough drive where I need music, like, so just whatever the fuck's happening. So they were actually talking about that the other morning, like making their bed, and most of them did that every day.
Sure.
I don't. What's the point? I don't mean that as in like, how dare you make your bed?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just wondering what the mindset of. Like,
I really enjoy pulling back covers and getting in a
what they said.
Made bed.
That's what they said. That it was like a.
And I'm easy. I don't have a sheet on my bed. I just have 2 blankets. So, I mean, it's super easy for me to make my bed. I don't like tuck sheets in. I don't.
That's what they were saying. It was a psychological thing of like, I get to pull this back and climb in.
Don't even talk about it because I'm ready for that shit, man. Let's go.
I just kind of figure like I'm getting back into that open, so here in a few hours.
Sure.
Anyways, so they call the police. They call the police. He didn't make his bed, officer, and I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
Yeah.
So no, they.
Do you see the tag on the mattress? I can't see it. It might be cut off.
So the officers come to the house. They ask Charles Banker, hey, is there anybody that was friends with him that might know where he's at? And Banker mentions a few neighbors, including the tax man, Jim Lewis.
Oh, the tax man. That's a fucking cool nickname.
Is it, though?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're just a tax man, it's not that cool.
Yeah.
Now, if like you're like a
He
hitman,
works for the mob, and he's like, I'm here to collect some fucking tax.
No, that's cool. I'm here to collect that debt. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're just a tax guy,
the tax man was just here. He's looking for you. Shit, what'd you tell him?
If you're Erwin R. Shyster, it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. The tax man.
So the officer called Lewis, who he tells the officer that West went to the Ozarks for 3 or 4 days with his girlfriend. The police were like, yeah, okay, sounds like a thing people do.
Yeah.
But Charles Banker, that didn't sound right to him. He, in their 30-year friendship, West had never had a romantic involvement.
I was wondering about that because they said he was a lifetime bachelor and he tended to the garden.
That's code for gay.
Yeah.
He was a gay man.
Yeah, and that's like early 70s how they described,
lived with his mom his whole life, Yeah. Just a friendly old gay guy.
And that's awesome.
Yeah. But, that is that code where, like, lifelong bachelor.
Lifelong bachelor.
Yeah. Or
maybe not.
Asexual.
Yeah.
Could be asexual. Just like, I don't need this
shit.
They
just never had romantic interest.
Yeah. I'm completely fine just being me.
Yeah.
So, but it, whenever this Charles Banker hears that this guy left with his girlfriend for 3 or 4 days, well, no.
Yeah.
Either way, like, no.
I'm sure he would have heard about a girl that he was even dating.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Enough to be a girlfriend.
There's no way he would have had a girlfriend and not told Charles.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, they used to fuck all the time.
So
you think it would come up once?
At least once.
I'm sorry. Go on.
So then Banker files a
That's not true.
He files a missing persons report. Then Banker returns to West's home on Wednesday, and now there is a note on the still locked front door.
It says, "I'm definitely not dead inside."
Oh, pretty much.
Okay.
Kind of.
Sorry, I hate to spoil.
It's written on Lewis and Lewis letterhead, and it reads, "Ray is out of town until Thursday. For further information, call Jim." Ain't no reason to bother
If you feel
Ray.
that you've reached this message in error, then please turn around and return to your car.
Call me so I can tell you some bullshit.
Yeah, call me.
Banker then checked around back and noticed that the previously raised window shade was now pulled down. So he calls police again. The police this time forced their way in. They walked through the house with Banker. Everything appears to be in order, though. Then they found a note on the living room coffee table.
Just notes on notes.
And it says, "Please don't disturb until after 1. Sleeping late, Raymond." So Banker tells the police that handwriting's not Raymond West's. He said West never signed anything Raymond except for his checks, and the other time he would go by Ray. Unnerved, Banker bought 2 new locks for the doors and gave police the second set of keys. Officers then left the scene. Now, here's my question.
Yeah.
And I know we talk a lot about cops being fucking morons. Especially back
in the day.
If there's a possible missing person.
Yeah.
And you break into their home. And you see a note that says, "Hey, please don't wake me up until after 1. I'm sleeping." I get it's being nice and respectful of their wishes not to go wake him up, but how about you go up, check his room?
They didn't check the room?
No.
The guy, Baker, didn't go up and check the room?
Apparently not. Apparently they see this, like they check, everything looks pretty good in here. They see this note, says he's sleeping until 1. And then Baker's like, well, I'll change the locks. And they're like, yep, okay.
And they're like, that was not his handwriting anyway.
So no investigate. Like, they just toodaloo. So
you gotta check the whole house. You're there.
And okay, so let's say they did check the whole house.
Yeah.
And they see this note that says, please don't disturb me till after 1, sleeping late, Raymond. They don't go, well, he's not sleeping. We're here in the house that he would be sleeping in. So this is bullshit.
So let's look for him.
Let's look. Let's do something.
Yeah. Let's
Either way this happened.
Investigate. Let's police work.
They just went, well, see you later.
Let's get to the diner and get some coffee.
So, according to Banker's statement to police, while he was there changing the locks, Jim Lewis drives up.
Hi, Jim Lewis from Lewis & Lewis Tax.
And when he sees Banker changing the locks on the front door, he jumps out of the car, runs up to the porch. What the hell are you doing? And then James Banker's like, what the hell is it look I'm doing? I'm putting new locks on. And then Lewis is like, all right, okay, all right. They talk a little bit. And then Lewis gets back in his car. But Banker and the buddy that's helping him put the locks on, they notice that Jim just kind of pulls down the street a little bit. And then he gets behind a delivery truck, like he's hiding, and then he's just like watching him. And then 10 minutes later, the truck pulls away, and Lewis is still sitting there watching him. So then Lewis hurries up and goes off, like just leaves. Like, oh shit, my perfect plan, my cover.
That's some Walt from Breaking Bad shit or something.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a quick break.
Quick, because I gotta see what's going on here.
We hope you enjoy another amazing performance in Ma'am Theater and an ad, and then we will be right back.
Right back.
And now, Cash and Joel debate who would win between Jason Voorhees and a squirrel. Joel and Cash had been arguing for what felt like an eternity about who would win in a fight between Jason Voorhees and a squirrel.
Come on, man. There's no contest here. Jason Voorhees would destroy a squirrel.
You're underestimating squirrels, my friend. They're scrappy little critters.
But Jason is a killing machine. He's got superhuman strength and can't be killed. What's a squirrel going to do against that?
Look, I'm not saying the squirrel would necessarily come out on top, but I think it could put up a pretty good fight. Squirrels are fast and agile, man. They could dart around Jason and confuse him.
I don't know, man. I just don't see it. Jason would just swat the squirrel away like it was nothing.
Think about it, though. What if the squirrel had some kind of weapon? Like a tiny little sword or something?
Are you serious right now? A sword-wielding squirrel? That's ridiculous.
Hey, anything's possible. And if the squirrel had a weapon, it could definitely do some damage to Jason.
I still don't buy it. Jason is just too powerful. I don't think anything on this earth could take him down.
Well, Joel, I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree. And with that, the argument was over.
Scene.
This has been Cash and Joel debating Jason Voorhees v. Squirrel.
Cash needs a drink. Big surprise.
I like my drinks, Joel. So, if you're listening to the podcast on Spotify, we would like you to go to, there's going to be a question in there that asks you, who do you think would win in a fight?
Oh.
Jason Voorhees or a squirrel?
Just
let us know.
Why? Because Jason's going to win, though.
Well, again, I think you're underestimating squirrels, my friend. So.
I'm not your friend if you think a squirrel could take Jason. This podcast is over.
Look, the squirrel would get acorns.
That's just back to
stuff them in Jason's mouth, and nose, and eyes and ears.
He's got a hockey mask on. You can't stuff him in
holes.
His mouth. You gonna get little nuts?
Well,
I mean, I know where you know where to find little nuts, but where's the squirrel gonna find? Just go with the story.
Okay, so
I've had it up to here with the squirrel.
So yeah, Jim Lewis is trying to be all spy.
Whatever.
And then his cover goes away. And he's like,
he starts whistling.
He like just lifts up a little.
I'm not driving right now.
Lifts up a little fake mustache, puts it on.
Hell yeah!
Or he has it tattooed on his finger.
Makes little sunglasses out of his fingers over his glasses he has on.
Raymond West has gone missing. Charles Banker thinks this is, something's going on. Jim Lewis is acting a tiny bit suspicious. Charles Banker returns to the home on August 14th, and this time there is a awful smell.
And he's like, well, I'm definitely not checking this time.
He looks through the house again. He enters the spare bedroom. Everything looks as it had 2 weeks earlier. So apparently they did check the bedroom.
Okay.
Which means, again, he's not where he says he is in the note. So let's maybe look into this.
Yeah.
Except for this time, there's a few bed linens and pillows lying on the floor. So Banker picks up one pillow and finds a part of a horse harness that West used as a belt loop keyring. I don't.
Okay.
So
maybe just like one of those little hook things where you can push down on it.
Thinking like a carabiner?
Yeah.
Carabiner?
Yeah, something like that.
So he kicks the sheet a little bit, just kind of kicks it out of the way, and discovers dried blood. So once again, he calls police. It's 95 degrees out.
Gonna be a hot one today.
West had been missing for 21 days at this point.
Jeez.
So if you want to imagine the odor,
yeah,
go ahead and take it in. Now vomit to your right.
It smells really good. It smells earthy.
So the cops show up. They kind of know as soon as they get there.
They know that smell.
They know what's up.
Ooh-wee, that smell.
Ooh-wee, that smell. You smell that, Peppa? So they find
you love that smell?
They find a bloody lawn chair in the basement and a garbage bag containing West's toupee and eyeglasses, as well as some bloodstained sheets.
Who doesn't keep their toupees and eyeglasses in a bloody bag with bloody sheets?
That's the best place for it. So they return to the upstairs bedroom, and they notice a foot-long stain running between the ceiling and the wall. So they get a ladder, and they enter the attic. In the attic, they find a partially decomposed body lying face down, still dressed in a striped polo shirt and tan corduroy pants.
What if he killed him up in the attic? How would they get him up there?
Slow
your roll, Joel!
Both legs had been severed at the hip joint.
Oh!
The right leg lay near the head on the right side. The other rested farther down on the left. Both feet wore black socks. Both legs had been wrapped in sheets. The head was also wrapped with sheets and a cord, and the torso was partially covered with a garbage bag tied on with cotton rope. All the wrappings were saturated with blood and other bodily fluids, which had soaked through the insulation below. In the attic's corner, police found pruning shears, a baseball bat, and a pulley-like device, along with more rope.
I think it's important to keep the weapons you kill someone with right there by the body.
Well, that's just being well organized.
Yeah.
So yeah, they figure this
the hell?
pulley-like device had been used to kind of hoist,
Okay, yeah. The parts up.
So the corpse was so highly decomposed that medical examiners were unable
3 weeks in an attic.
Yeah, in 90-some degree weather. Medical examiners were unable to determine the victim's identity, age, or race. Taking fingerprints was out of the question. Hair samples would be tough to come by. Dental records were even worse. West was bald and had dentures from a defunct dentist's office, so there's no... Eventually, examiners were able to match the body with a stray hair found in a cap downstairs. It was West, but investigators still didn't have a cause of death. There were no bullet wounds or signs of trauma. What authorities did have was a check for $5,000 drawn on West's account. It was dated July 23rd, 1978, to be paid to James Lewis.
Oh, bomb!
Within hours of discovering the body, police went to Lewis's home, handcuffed him, and took him downtown. They relieved him of his property and put him in a holding cell for an hour. He was then taken to an office and questioned for several hours. Lewis explained that the check was a loan. West had given him the check during the morning visit on Sunday. He also said he put the note on West's front door so folks like Banker wouldn't worry about him. He told police he didn't know anyone who would want to hurt Ray. He submitted fingerprints and a handwriting sample and was released. The following day, police returned to Lewis' home, again asking about the check. The bank...
what? Why did he give you $5,000?
He said it was a loan, yeah. It's just a loan. The bank had refused to honor it when West couldn't be found to confirm its validity. Banker had told police that Ray was extremely tight with his money. He once gave a neighbor $5, and they joked that he was turning into a big spender. Lewis said the $5,000 was a business expansion loan from West and produced a typed-out promissory note. According to the police report, detectives asked Lewis if he had West's checkbook and a key to his home. "I do not," Lewis told them. He then agreed to sign a consent to search form, allowing police to survey his home and office as well as his vehicles, saying, "I'll sign it, but I don't have the key and checkbook, and I think you guys are fishing." In Lewis's car, detectives discovered, among other items, 20 feet of knotted white rope, a blank attaché case with papers bearing West's name, a trash bag, and a bundle of Raymond West checks.
No.
I don't have those.
Other than the ones I have.
I have those.
Yeah, why don't I have those?
You didn't ask specifically which ones.
You're fishing.
The police again took Lewis into custody. Officers asked if he had killed Raymond West. Lewis said no. You know, the old lie defense. Hard to get through that one.
He did say no.
And we asked him.
They let him go. We're like, well, shit, we thought we had our guy.
He said he didn't do it, though. What else are we going to do? In late August, the Jackson County grand jury charged Lewis with capital murder, but days before the October 1979 trial date, prosecutor James Bell asked for dismissal of the case. He had no choice. Lewis's defense attorney, Albert Reeder, had done his job well. In pretrial motions, the defense attorney successfully argued police had no probable cause to arrest Lewis the first time. They also neglected to read him his Miranda warning. Every scrap of evidence collected, thereafter fell away as inadmissible. Even the original indictment was ruled defective. It omitted the term felonious. Bell was left with a bag of bloody circumstantial evidence and a local coroner who couldn't testify to a cause of death, let alone a homicide. The defense attorney had witnesses lined up to talk about West's high blood pressure.
It's a classic case of going up in the attic, cutting yourself up.
You know, it's what people did back then.
Jesus.
But yeah, the defense attorney had witnesses lined up to talk about how Raymond West had high blood pressure and a potent medication regimen, which could have caused his demise. Because the legs naturally rot off and fall.
Sure.
Cleanly cut.
And wrap themselves up.
All the time.
All the time. And then a cord and bag around your head and your torso.
But since the police didn't say the magic words.
Felonious.
And didn't read the, little poem they read, the Miranda warning.
Their little spell.
What a stupid fucking thing.
You have the right to remain silent.
So the defense attorney...
Why don't they just be like, oh, but we did? They're like, oh, you did? I'm like, yep, we did. But he said you didn't. We're the police, and cops lie.
But that guy says you did.
Yeah, but we're the cops, and we said we did. And they'd be like, all right, well, we believe you.
Well, now we don't know what to do, because you're saying you did, they're saying you didn't. Ugh. So the defense attorney said, it's one thing to kill somebody. It's another thing to dismember them after they're dead. And while dismembering somebody after they're dead is repulsive and repugnant, it's not homicide. So he stands by his former client. He says, it was my impression that he did not do it. There really was no evidence of foul play prior to Raymond West's death. There were no bullet holes to indicate he would have died a violent death and had been dismembered. So, again, they're just saying that Raymond West climbed into the attic
and just
his body parts fell off.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Someone else wrote a note for him first.
Yeah.
To put on the table. And he wrote a check to that guy. And he was like, well, I'm just going to go up in the attic and dismember myself now.
And the defense attorney is also kind of saying, like, yeah, sure, yeah. It's bad to kill somebody. But if you happen to find a dead body and you dismember it.
Yeah. Who hasn't wanted to
Who amongst us hasn't done that? So as Lewis left the courtroom a free man, Bell, who was the prosecutor, told reporters the case was one of the most mysterious, confusing, befuddling, complex, and probably one of the most difficult cases I've ever handled. It's downright mysterious.
Oh.
The Lewises returned to their accounting practice and launched an additional business venture, Algive International, which they'd incorporated in 1975 with an Indian-born pharmacist named Varan Mehta to import industrial pill-making machines manufactured in India. Lewis often bragged about his international business connections and impending deals, In the mid-'70s, according to a police report, he even paid a Kansas City cop $50 to serve as a bodyguard during a transaction involving loose gems.
$50?
That's 50 whole dollars.
Wow.
Nevertheless, Lewis's sidelines floundered, as did his tax services. Quote, he was reading books, but he wasn't making any money, according to an ex-employee of his tax service. He was always doing busy work while his wife was doing the real work. In his mind, he was running the whole show.
Oh, what's her face?
You know, as the years.
With the hair.
Kansas City law enforcement thought Lewis was running a criminal enterprise, falsifying credit card applications, and in one instance, instructing the IRS to direct a client's check to the account of a Lewis corporation. Former Assistant U.S. Attorney Jeremy Margolis summarizes Lewis' method, quote, this is amazing. He would invent an address, pound a mailbox into the ground, pull the mailbox out of the ground once what he needed to be in it was in it, and then just move it somewhere else and invent a new address for it. So, yeah, he would just come up with an address. There's the mailbox for it. Thank you very much for the thing. I'll take that back. Let me walk down here a little bit.
Yeah.
Pound, pound, pound. This is the new address.
Yeah.
Thank you for the new thing. It would later come out in federal court that Lewis also faced charges of swindling clients in a land deal in Jackson County. Authorities searched Lewis' home on December 4th, 1981, and found typewriter ribbons, mailboxes, credit card applications, and enough other evidence to issue a warrant arrest for James Lewis. The couple beat it out of Kansas City for Chicago, taking only what their 69 Rambler could carry.
69!
Nice.
Nice!
Under assumed names, now going by Robert and Nancy Richardson, the couple checked into...
Robert Richardson? That's what you come up with?
Robbie Richardson.
Robbie Richardson.
A week later, they moved into a tiny apartment in Lincoln Park. Leanne, or Nancy, soon found bookkeeping work at Lakeside Travel, owned by Miller Brewing heir Frederick Miller McCahey. According to neighbors, Lewis spent much of his first few months in Chicago studying books on economics, history, and computers. He also spent hours training the building manager's dog, writing, and engaging fellow tenants in highbrow discussions. Quote, I thought he was the smartest man I ever spoke to, said one neighbor.
Said some dummy.
He always talked about money. Not necessarily having some.
Dude, that's my least favorite fucking thing to talk about. I have people that they just can't wait to tell you how much they pay for shit, how much they get paid, and I hate all of it.
There is a person that I'm not friends with him. We used to be a lot better friends, but now we're just kind of, I haven't seen him in a while. But that was something, like, if I hadn't seen him in a little while, say 8 months, whatever, and then I'd run into him again, the very first thing was, oh, yeah, I'm working here now. They're paying me this. Yeah. And I'd be like, yeah, hi.
How are you?
Yeah, hello.
How are
nice
you?
to see you again.
Are you listening to me?
Like, I did not need to know that.
Yep. Don't ever talk to me about
I don't
money.
like that either.
Unless you want to talk about how much money you want to give me. I'll listen to that.
Yeah, now if the next sentence was, and I'm going to give you
all right, cool.
40% of that. I'd be like,
I'm a lot more interested in this story
now. Hug me now? So she says that he always, or they say, I don't know if it's a she.
Yeah.
They say he always talked about money, not necessarily having some, but he used to
Wouldn't it be cool to have money, though?
He used to go through the financial sections all the time and cut small pieces out. So, yeah, that makes her the smartest man, or that makes them the smartest man ever. He would talk about wanting money.
Yeah.
Only geniuses talk about that.
He, put collages together.
Of money.
Of money from the newspaper.
Lewis looked the part of a wayward executive. It was like he went to the Salvation Army and bought his suits, recalled another tenant. He wanted to look dressed to have a tie.
What's wrong with buying clothes? You thought you were just going to slip that past me?
I'd wait for it.
I can't wait to put my Salvation Army shirt on here in a little bit. I'm going to host that comedy show. And I'm going to salute everybody.
He acted like he had places to go.
Yeah, the Salvation Army to get some more suits!
Each day, he'd walk Leanne to her bus stop. Sometimes he'd also meet her for lunch or stop by the office to show off a new set of fancy pens.
Ooh.
He was very proud of his handwriting. That was another thing he talked about a lot, was how nice his handwriting was. And devotedly, he'd wait at the bus stop for his wife's return. They'd walk hand in hand back to their room. So Bob and Nancy, as they're known now, made friends of the building and through Leanne's job. They did the normal things: movies, afternoon coffee, bowling, window shopping. While maintaining their aliases, the two never hesitated to talk about their daughter and how much they missed her. In January of '82, Lewis found work at Chicago Tax Service on Broadway, but the position was short-lived. Lewis's temper flared up when the owner found a mistake on a return. At least, this time the owner didn't seem like it was a calculator issue. Jim didn't take the criticism well and was fired. He then hooked up with the Loftus and O'Mara temporary agency. From April through August of '82, he worked as a temp in various departments of the First National Bank of Chicago, where he claimed to notice a lack of security. Quote, he told me about how he could walk into any office without anyone asking him questions about what he was doing there.
Oh.
Says Wanda Lou Brown,
he must
a friend.
have a clipboard or something.
And he noticed on one table a stack of documents that contained vital information that could be used to transfer money from one bank account to another by computer. And he mentioned that it would be something that would be embarrassing for that bank to have found out. So that summer, Lewis also became obsessed with Frederick Miller McCahey. Since taking over Lakeside Travel a year earlier, McCahey had experienced problems managing the business. Leanne saw the end coming. She knew they were about to shut down. Bank accounts were overdrawn, and airlines had pulled the agency's ticketing privileges. In later courtroom testimony, Leanne's supervisor, Barbara Vatkus, recalled that coworkers gossiped about McCahey putting other enterprises out of business. Vatkus said she discovered evidence that McCahey had diverted company funds to pay his personal bills and was not properly depositing Lakeside's receipts.
Rich guy shit.
Rich guy shit.
Yeah, come on.
Before she quit her job in the spring of '82, this is something to kind of keep in mind. So before she quit her job in the spring of '82, Leanne stamped a stack of blank envelopes with postage from that place, like you just send. The postmark said April 15th, '82. The following Friday, Lakeside Travel went belly up. Vatkus issued 18 final paychecks, including Leanne's for $511.33. All the checks bounced. The Lewises had cashed Leanne's check at a nearby currency exchange. On July 27th, '82, the currency exchange sued them to recover the funds. The exchange's attorney, Anthony Fernelli, recalled the couple's agitated demeanor during a subsequent visit to his office. Quote, they appeared to be more upset than anybody else. They were very adamant in their position that they didn't owe the money, that they had worked for it, and that McCahey was a crook, and that he should pay. Jim Lewis had been working on an attack plan. He'd hit the law books and encouraged other disgruntled employees to file complaints with the Illinois Department of Labor's Wage Claim Board. Leanne called Vatkus, looking for a list of McCahey's bank account numbers. Jim got on the line and took down the information, which was pretty nice of this Vatkus person to be like, well, here's all the bank info. Armed with a thick packet of documentation, Jim and Leanne marched into the August 3rd wage claim hearing, surrounded by several supportive, relief-seeking coworkers. McCahey didn't attend, sending his attorney instead. Longtime Lakeside employee Evelyn Gold witnessed the meeting. Quote, we all sat around a big conference table, and the officer asked us how much we were each claiming for. Then McCahey's lawyer said that there wasn't any money in the account. All the accounts had been frozen by one of the banks because McCahey had owed them money. He passed around copies of the bank statements to show there was no money. All of us were arguing about it, and because our claim was the salary should have gone through before they were allowed to freeze. Jim Lewis served as the group's principal advocate. He was one of those who was most outspoken about it. He and Nancy had a full file of papers. Jim said there were accounts, personal accounts that McCahey had, that he thought that he had taken money out of Lakeside Travel to put in his personal account. So yeah, he's saying this guy, rich
he
guy
has
stuff.
the money. Just
The officer rebuffed Jim Lewis. He asked Jim what he was doing there. Jim said, he said, you're not one of the employees, are you, or a liar? And Jim said no, he was the husband, and he was concerned. So the wage claim officer said,
you see that plain woman back there? No,
I know you haven't noticed
It's
her.
hard to know she's right in front of the wall. She's not part of the wall. Do you see her? Wave, move, do something.
Leanne,
that's my wife.
Blink. So.
Oh my God, that scared me. I didn't even realize that was a person.
So yeah, he says, no, I'm not one of the lawyers. I'm not an employee. I'm just a husband. So the wage claim officer said, well, you shouldn't really even be taking a part in this. And then Jim got up and he went and sat in another chair by the wall, just, pouting kind of.
Yeah.
About 45 minutes later, the ruling came down. The officer said there was nothing really that he could do about it because there was no money available to lay a claim against, and that was it. McCahey walked in as the meeting broke up. Jim and Leanne confronted him, and a 5-minute shouting match ensued. According to Barbara Vatkus, the exchange ended with McCahey threatening Leanne. Determined, the Lewises convened a strategy lunch with other ex-employees a week later at the Loophole Restaurant on Randolph. Jim told the group he'd send his files on McCahey to the Illinois Attorney General and to the U.S. Attorney, calling for an investigation into McCahey. Officials would later testify they'd never received anything. But while Jim and Leanne were still fired up, the others' enthusiasm had waned. Many had moved on to other jobs at this point, didn't hold out much hope for repayment, so the group kind of just disbanded. After paying back just $50 of the funds owed, Jim and Leanne packed up and left their home on September 3rd, 1982, with 3 suitcases, 1 tote bag, a cardboard box, and a briefcase. On September 4th, 1982, using new aliases, Karen and William Wagner, the couple paid $221
Willie
cash.
Wagner. This guy loves his double friggin' same
Yes,
letters.
he does.
One letter, both names.
They paid $221 for cash for a one-way ticket on an Amtrak train headed for New York City. 2 days later, they checked into the Fleabag Rutledge Hotel.
New York City?
In Midtown Manhattan is Robert and Nancy Richardson. So they're back to that. And paid $95 for a week's rent. And that is where we're going to stop with part 1.
Oh!
Because, sure, they've probably murdered and dismembered a man.
Yeah.
And sure.
I know you're talking about all this money. I was like, what about the dude they fucking killed?
They're doing some other shit. But there's a lot more to come.
Yep.
So, yeah, we'll end there with part 1. We'll get back soon with part 2. And then we get into some medication, messing around with some medications.
Okay.
So we get around to some stuff. So good luck tonight.
Thanks.
With your show.
Yeah.
And if you don't hear from us again next weekend, we'll be back after that because we'll be enjoying.
Or I'm just off being so rich.
Sure, Charles.
I was just like,
I got
fuck it.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll leave you now with our third and final middle-aged and mediocre theater. And now, Cash and Joel investigate the Muppet Massacre. Interior Muppet Theater during the day. Cash and Joel, 2 detectives, stand in the middle of a chaotic scene. The floor is littered with Muppet parts, blood, and stuffing. What the hell happened here?
I don't know, but it's a damn massacre. I've never seen anything like it.
We need to find out who did this.
But who would kill Muppets? They're innocent creatures.
Someone's sick in the head, that's who.
We need to find some evidence. Something that can lead us to the killer.
Look, there's a piece of cloth over there. It looks like a piece of clothing.
Let's bag it and take it to the lab. Maybe we can find some DNA on it.
Good call. But we need to move fast. The killer could be long gone by now.
Right. But we'll find him. We have to. For the Muppets.
I promise you. We will. And when we do, he'll pay for what he's done.
Let's get to work.
The 2 detectives set to work, determined to find the killer and bring him to justice. The camera pans out on the Muppet Theater, now silent and eerie, as they continue their investigation. This has been Cash and Joel Investigates the Muppet Massacre.